Today, decided I am going to take a break from visiting ancient ruins, and I am going to take a little trip into Utah to hike the 12-mile loop that goes to the 3 different bridges at Natural Bridges National Park. It is 10 in the morning, and the plan was to get here about this time to be able to reserve a camp spot. I drove around to every camp spot that there is here in the park, which isn't that many, and every single one is already reserved. Not quite sure what I'm going to do about that, but the good news is that there is tons of federal land around here, a bunch of off-road trails, so I shouldn't have a problem finding anywhere to sleep tonight, but we'll find out. It's only like 70 degrees out here, but it feels a heck of a lot warmer than that. Here at the natural bridges, there are 3 natural land bridges formed by erosion, and there is a 12-mile loop on an unmaintained trail that's supposed to connect all of them. That can take me quite some time, so we're going to be sure to pack extra water and an extra peanut butter and jelly sandwich just in case if it takes a while. Got my map. Should be good to go. I'm excited for this. The drive in here into Utah, that just brought back a flood of memories. There was this awesome man-made canyon. It wasn't even a canyon, it was blown up with dynamite to let the road go through it. As you drove through that, you got this feeling of awe because of the beautiful red rock surrounded you on all sides. It's been 4.5 years since I've been back to Utah, since I moved away. It does feel really good being back, and there's just so much I want to do out here. I just wish I had more time to get it all done. Well, let's get to it. I'm out here hiking 12 miles, so that way I can get to all 3 natural bridges and experience them that way. You don't have to hike to be able to enjoy the beauty of it out here. You can appreciate it from so many different areas on top of the canyon without having to exert yourself. This park has several viewpoints where you can see the natural bridges from a distance and a little bit up close. You can see the canyon, the erosion of the mountains. You can see the different types of rocks, their water flows. Take a drive through those loops. Bring a book with you. Enjoy being outside. Stop and have a picnic out here. Just get out, get some sun, enjoy life. I had this professor back at BYU. He knew none of us would be geologists. He taught it in a manner that we would be able to use that information for the rest of our lives. And I'm grateful for that. It's more than just hiking out here. It's appreciating the beauty through knowledge. I can go places and I can see how the mountains were formed. Was it because of an earthquake? Or was it because of erosion? I can tell if a glacier was there or if a lake was there. I doubt you're watching, but thank you, Professor. I can't remember your name, sorry, but I remember the lessons you taught. And I remember you had a flying monkey that you used to shoot at people if they fell asleep during your class. That was cool too. Not even a quarter of a mile in, and I just want to stop and stare at this. This is just, oh, insane. This is disgusting. I'm standing right under a ledge where birds build their nest. And everything you see that is black right here is bird poop and bird feathers. Even for someone who loves birds, gross. Don't have your picnic in that spot. Go somewhere a little more sanitary. This is the first view we get of Sipapu Bridge. The span is 268 feet. It is the largest bridge in this park and the second largest in the United States. Being out in nature is fantastic. You don't get the real feeling of it through videos and pictures. Being surrounded by these canyon walls, it really makes you feel tiny and insignificant. Makes you feel that the grand scheme of things, we're really, really tiny. And, well, that's okay. Makes you want to live your life to where things that you do really matter, and the little things just to let them go by the wayside. And this is what the second largest bridge in North America looks like from underneath. One bridge down, only 11.2 more miles to go for 2 more bridges. The canyon floor is a lot better than I was expecting it to be. I thought it was going to be dry, which it is, but there's pockets of mud, and there's all these gorgeous purple flowers, yellow paintbrushes, and these little white flowers too. About 2.5 miles after the first bridge, through mud, wildflowers, sandy pits, eating 1 peanut butter and jelly sandwich and a bunch of water, we have arrived at the Kachina Bridge. The previous bridge, the Hipapu, was the longest one. This one is not nearly as long, but it is the bridge with the widest girth in the whole park, measuring at 44 inches. Up until this point, I've been following the riverbed, but after the Kachina Bridge back there's a sign that pointed the trail up this way, but it's kind of weird because we were hiking along the valley floor. It doesn't make sense to not do that anymore. But I will trust the map instead of my own thoughts, because I don't think the national park is really out to get any of us lost. But even though I've had to climb up a little bit, the view from up here was worth it. I just saw a chipmunk run up the trail. If this were a cartoon, I would have to follow the chipmunk, so let's go with that. I see the Karens, not Karen, like the lady with the funky haircut yelling at the manager. They point the way. Well, this is a relief. I am on the right trail. I go that way to go to the parking lot, or I go that way to go to the next bridge. Now I know why the trail wanted us to hike higher and get off of the valley floor. Look at this. The valley floor that I was on ends at a giant cliff that is a waterfall when it's wet. It's not wet, so it's not a waterfall, so it's a cliff. There is a footpath down there, so I'm sure many people have made the mistake that I was trying to make. Glad I didn't follow it. That would have been a tough area to climb up. 3 hours and about 5.5 miles into the hike, we come across Shoe Rock. Let's hike on to the third bridge. We are 6.82 miles in, and we are now at the Ochawama Bridge. It is the smallest bridge in the park, and though it is the smallest, I think it is the one with the best view. Bad news, I just got to the top of the canyon, and I thought I was taking a shortcut to get back to my car quicker, but I'm not. I'm right here where the trail ends, right where I thought I was gonna be originally before I decided to take a shortcut. This is no shortcut. I still have to walk this 3 miles back to my car. Yay. I just ran into the parking lot at mile 9.3. I thought this was gonna be 12 miles. That makes me so happy. I've got blisters on my toes, but I drank all the water my body will let me drink, and my throat's still dry. The original map that I read about the trail I took, I thought it said 12 miles, but 9.31 miles. Quite happy about that. I'm at about 1,700 calorie burn. That's just active calories. That doesn't include what I just normally would have burnt had I been sedentary. Whew, I'm happy to see the parking lot. Look at that, asphalt and parking lot. So problem, that's not the parking lot my car is in. Dang it. I think my heart skipped a beat there. Okay, yeah, the parking lot extends out further. It didn't look like it. Whoo-wee. All right, I am done. I have made it back to the car. I got blisters from this one. It's been a while since I've gotten a blister. 9.43 miles, 5 hours, 22 minutes, 20 seconds, and then total calories burned, 2,135. I'm tired. Good hike though, good hike. And if you don't believe me, here's the stats. I was kind of disappointed that the campground was full at the national park. I thought I got there early enough to get a spot, but this worked out so much better. I drove a few miles outside the park and then up a dirt road, and about 8 miles later, I found this secluded spot. Fits my car perfectly. Let me give you a tour. This here is the living room. This here is the bedroom and kitchen, and this is the view of the sun setting. The best part about this is right over there, that white area, can you see it? That's where I spent the day hiking. So I'm getting to watch the sunset over the natural bridges. No complaints here. Well, other than I have to leave tomorrow morning. As far as meals go, I've definitely had worse. I'm having my blackberry lemonade powder, a turkey salami, cheese, and tons of mustard sandwich. I've got a Little Debbie brownie that is soggy and melted, and I got these awesome grapes. What's also really cool is over there, can't see it with the GoPro, the moon's coming up over the Little Red Mountain. The sunset just seems to be going on forever, and it's great. If you're really quiet, you can hear the crickets. Look how bright this moon is. It's 3/4 full, and it's so bright that it's casting a shadow. I have a shadow right now just from the moon. It's wild. Yeah, that moon is bright. The sun is still going down. You can still see the colors on the horizon. Temperatures dropped quite a bit in just that time that the sun went behind the mountain. I've had to put a jacket and a scarf on. I can hear lots of bugs, and it sounds really neat. As long as they don't climb on top of me, it'll be cool. Red light, you might be wondering why I'm doing that. Red light does not dilate your pupils. White light does, so the light from a phone or a regular flashlight, it will make my pupils shrink really small, and it takes 30 minutes for your eyes to readjust to the dark. So I am trying not to use white light so I can continue to see the stars clearly. Good night, and I will let you know in the morning how well or how not well I slept. Good morning. This is the sunrise, not from my camp, but from a couple miles up the road. I wanted to drive to the top of the mountain to see it. Slept just fine. Tossed and turned a lot. The cot wasn't terribly comfortable. Only had one bug fly around my ear at night, and that was fine because I just covered my head with the blanket. Surprisingly comfortable, and seeing the stars was just fantastic. Done hiking for the most part, heading off to see a bunch of ruins. Gonna stop at Hovenweep and then on to hopefully Canyons of the Ancient if there's time.